So here's what happens when you try to do rink maintenance on a time crunch.
How are you gonna
I
be
was
done
fighting
with
against
that?
kids' practice schedules, a rapidly changing weather pattern, and a shop vac that I did not have prepared to take off water. Now, the question is, does shop vac actually work for getting water off your rink? I'm about to show you the honest truth, and you might be surprised by what I found after it refroze. The last time we had a warm spell, water pooled up in this spot. I let it sit there and refreeze. The result was about a half inch of weak ice that would crack and break when you skated over it. So, when this other warm spell hit us, I decided to test out a different tactic. Try using this shop vac to remove water before it refreezes. Now, I'm a dad with 3 kids in hockey and basketball. When I went out to do this, I had exactly 30 minutes before practice. So this is what happens when I tried to shop vac my rink in the real world, rushed, unprepared, and with a kid watching the clock. Here's what nobody tells you about shop vacuuming your rink, and this is important if you're actually going to try this. First problem, I grabbed the shop vac from the garage and realized I still had the dry filter on it. And then there was garbage in the bin from my last project. So before I could even start, I had to go dump that out, swap to the wet filter. Already 5 minutes gone, just like that. Now I figured I would use my extension cord connecting my lights since it was already ran out there. Piece of cake, great idea, until it started getting darker. Now I'm up against the sunlight. So here's the thing, the shop vac actually works great at sucking up the water, like really well. You can see it pulling water and some debris, leaves, little pine needles off of the ice. The problem isn't that it doesn't work, the problem is efficiency.
How are you gonna be done with that?
And yeah, that's my son about 5-10 minutes in because this is slow. So doing this whole rink would take me at least an hour to 2 hours. For a small puddle, 2 to 3 square feet, yeah, this makes total sense. Easy 10-minute fix. But for widespread water on your entire rink, not very practical. I did what I could, loaded the boys in the car, and hoped it would make a difference. Now, I probably waited even a little bit too long to start doing the shop vac because it had already started to crystallize up a bit. So I was vacuuming up water and some like slush. So not ideal. You want to get out there when it's still completely water and hasn't started freezing yet. Now the overnight temperature dropped significantly. Everything refroze solid the next morning. So here's what I found. And to be completely honest with you, the few areas that I shop backed up, the surface is quite a bit smoother than where the water sat and pooled up. So that is kind of pleasantly surprising. Now, the spot that had that weak ice from when the water pooled up the last warm up, I deliberately did shop back that area. So testing that out in the next morning with the refreeze, that area that thing is rock solid ice. So it is a win in that aspect. But comparing it to the other areas that I didn't touch the water with the shop vac, it's still not skatable. You're gonna have to do a reflood over the entire surface at least once to make it even skatable. So here's the real question. Half hour me dinking around with the shop vac and trying to get the water off, is it worth it? For me, no. If I'm going to spend time out here, I'd rather just wait, be patient, let it freeze, get a proper flood in over the whole thing, and get consistently good ice everywhere. Shop vac works. It does what it's supposed to do. But unless you have a tiny puddle in like your corner, I'd say it's not worth the time investment. Better strategy is let it refreeze and do a thin flood out over everything. You'll get better results and in less actual work. So the real takeaway here Don't stress about water on your rink during the warm spells. Let it refreeze and flood over it. You'll get better ice in less time. So if this helped you avoid wasting an afternoon with shop vac, hit that subscribe button. I'll be delivering backyard rink content regularly all winter long. That way you don't have to guess and waste time like I did. I'd love to hear what your go-to method for dealing with warm weather water is though. Thanks for watching and good luck with your rink.